5 months ago, on January 7th, the fires in Los Angeles happened. They didn't affect me in the way it affected many of people, but it affected me in a very silent and almost invisible way that I only realized later on. When it started, I could see everything from my window. It was not that far from me. Every day I could see the fire moving from one side to another. The sky was covered with a lot of smoke and ashes. There was a lot of noise from the helicopters, from sirens and ambulances, and it was jarring. I was also watching news at that time to actually see if the fire is approaching closer and if I'm in danger as well. We did receive a warning one day and to prepare for the evacuation, but the fire next to us in the Hollywood Hills was put off pretty fast, and so we were not really in danger. And to be honest with you, I thought that I'm okay. Fires are not affecting me, even though they were. And I only realized that when I left LA in February. And the thing is, I was renting an apartment with a cat until February 1st. And when I felt like I cannot be there anymore because of the noises, because of the stress, because of the air quality, my throat started to hurt and I couldn't really be there anymore. And when I wrote the owners of the apartment if maybe they want to come earlier, they said that no, nothing changed in their plans and they will be back on February 1st. And you know how there are 3 ways the nervous system responds: through flight, through fight, or freeze. I couldn't fight because really at that moment I didn't know what I can do. I didn't have a car. I didn't really know LA. I didn't know how I can help. When we got a warning for the evacuation, I met up with some neighbors and we kind of made a plan of what we're going to do. And I felt very energized because I felt like I could do something about it. But then when the danger kind of like went away, that fight response couldn't be used anymore. I couldn't fight, I couldn't run, I couldn't fly, right? I couldn't use the flight response because I couldn't run away, I couldn't move, I couldn't go anywhere. I felt trapped. And so my nervous system chose to freeze. And I didn't realize that until later on. I could notice that my cognitive ability is not that sharp anymore. I cannot remember things. I cannot react emotionally. Like I almost couldn't feel emotions. I noticed that something is happening in me, but I thought, why would I feel anything? The fires didn't burn my house, even though a lot of properties of my friends were destroyed, or a lot of my friends were pushed to leave Los Angeles because they couldn't stay safely in their areas anymore. Yeah, and I was trying to help them, but they found some other solutions. I noticed that I started eating. That's how my nervous system was calming itself. Another thing that I felt during that time was powerlessness. When I was looking out of the window, when I was seeing that fire burning away everything that comes in touch with it, I felt powerless. I was in different chats of volunteers, different news, and I was reading how people were losing houses. I was reading about the animals that were trapped and couldn't be saved. I was just reading and watching the information about that devastation, and at first I actually thought that I'm trying to stay informed, that maybe I could help some other people or just be informed for myself, for my own sake. But it actually worked. It did the opposite effect on me. It was tensing my nervous system. It was tensing my body. It kind of kept me in a state of this fear of what might happen, and if I have another plan to escape, to move, to take care of the cat, to really stay alive in a way too. Even though I didn't feel the fear in the moment, I realized that it was still affecting me on the background. And so when I was looking out of the window and I could see those fires, I felt like something within me has the ability to help on a level of frequency. I'm a frequency master, spiritual mentor. I can see frequencies, I can feel frequencies, I can, in a way, manipulate frequencies. And in that moment, I felt like there's something within me that has a capability to help those people, to help the animals, just to help Los Angeles. But I couldn't. And I felt powerless. I felt helpless. I felt like I cannot help anyone. That felt heavy for me. And when I moved to Mexico, I spent a few days just walking in nature, breathing air, eating some nourishing food, because I could see and I could feel how the air, the quality of air, also impacted my lungs. It impacted my mind, my body, my health overall. And I could feel some form of anxiety. Like I couldn't really get things done. I couldn't focus on doing something important. I was just kind of like existing. And then my partner arrived. On the first night, I got a dream. I got a dream about the fires. I didn't have those dreams before, and this was the first time I got that dream. And in that dream, I saw that the animals were trapped in the fires. They couldn't help themselves. That I saw some people as well, but it was almost as if people were choosing not to move, and I couldn't understand why they wouldn't want to help themselves. I woke up with the tears in my eyes, because I realized that all that time I could feel the feelings and emotions of all of the people. I could feel the frequencies of the land, of the animals, of everything that was existing there. And it got so overwhelming for my senses, for my nervous system, that I just froze completely. And after seeing that dream, I realized that I froze. I realized that it actually impacted me much more. That's when I also felt like I couldn't help those animals. I couldn't help those people. And I felt this heavy weight on me, even though I know I'm not maybe responsible for them, but everything inside of me, the frequency of God inside of me, felt this heaviness that I couldn't do anything about it. And when I woke up with the tears in my eyes, it's like this floodgate open in my head, of processing and processing and processing everything that happened. I started seeing different images, different visuals of what was happening, and how my body was reacting to it, how I was taking it in, and how it was affecting me. And only then I realized how I suppressed all of that and couldn't process. I started crying. I started speaking about it. It helped my nervous system to process those feelings, those emotions, that frequency. I could process it through my body. I realized that, yes, I also felt like I cannot ask for help or cannot ask for support because it didn't affect me in a way it affected other people. Nothing burned in my property. I didn't lose anything. And so I felt like I don't have a right to ask for help, to ask for support. And that I also realized when I woke up, when everything started going through me, and then it just hit me. And after a few hours of processing and speaking it out loud, honestly, I don't even remember everything I talked about at that time, but really was connected to that powerlessness. I went downstairs to the kitchen. I wanted to have some food. And when I started eating, my body just started shaking uncontrollably. I'm looking at myself, I'm eating, and I'm looking at myself, and my body is shaking. I'm like, what is happening? I wasn't scared. I wasn't concerned. I was just curious. Like, what is happening to my body? Why is it shaking? And then I realized that my nervous system started to defrost. Viscerally, on the body level, that's how it happens. It's actually starting to shake because all of that tension started coming out of my body. All of that tension that I suppressed during the time, like during the months of January, started to release. My body started to relax because I was in a safe environment, and I started processing everything. I guess one of the main conditions or factors for your nervous system to defrost. If you froze, it's a safe environment where you can talk about your feelings, where you feel safe and relaxed. And that's what happened to me. I realized that I would want some support, and I asked for some support, and I received it. Also, in February, I planned that I'm gonna go to Argentina during spring, because actually my friend was supposed to have a wedding in July in Hawaii. And I thought that, I'm just going to stay in this side of the world for the ease of traveling around. And I wanted to go to Argentina. But then I started receiving downloads about needing to go to Russia, needing to be with my mom, needing to spend time with her, and just be in Russia. It didn't tell me why. It didn't tell me what I would need to do there, but it showed me my mom and it showed me Russia. It showed me something else, but honestly, it wasn't the feeling of excitement. It wasn't the feeling of happiness that I'm going back, that I'm going to see my family. I felt anxious. I felt like something is going to happen and I need to be prepared for it. And so I did. And this is a story for another part of my frequency series. It will all come together when you hear the rest. Please write down in comments if you felt powerless, if you felt hopeless, if you felt like you cannot do something. Write in your comments how you felt, how your body felt, and how you were processing it, and we'll continue our conversation. And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.